All right, so I am so excited that somebody asked what the Akashic records mean. It's going to be hard to fit a lot of the information into one video, so I would love to just kind of post some videos later on down the line that dive a little deeper because I am still learning myself. However, so the basic foundation of what the Akashic records is that it is a documentation of every thought, emotion, feeling, action, event that has ever taken place in the history of human time. All right, sorry about that interruption. So as I was saying, the Akashic record is essentially every thought, emotion, feeling, event that has ever happened in the course of humankind, in the course of history. And it is believed that you are able to tap into not only your own Akashic records, but the universal Akashic records if need be as well. Back in time, the Akashic records date way back to ancient Egyptian times. And when you look through the course of different religions and history, different civilizations, different religions have all made mention of these Akashic records in some form and in some way. They don't call them the same thing. However, the more westernized culture has formed this word, the Akashic records, to represent this collective consciousness, so to speak. Now, Akasha is a Hindu word that can mean space, spiritual force, a number of different things. And the Akasha is what is believed that you are tapping into. And once you tap into this Akasha is where you are able to receive these records. Now, the Akashic record is primarily used to help you as an individual overcome past traumas, emotional issues that you might be suppressing or repressing. It also allows you, and this is really cool, I think, to tap into past lives. Because the Akashic records holds this knowledge of all humankind, every thought, emotion, and event, it is believed that you are able to tune in to past lives. Now, when it comes to the Akasha, you need to believe in reincarnation because essentially the Akashic records are what that means, that the soul goes through cycles and the soul will forever continue through these cycles. And if you're able to tap into this Akashic record of your own soul, then you're going to be able to grow that much more. Now, that's not to say that if you don't tap into the Akashic records that you're not going to grow and flourish. You're always going to grow because that's the soul's progress. I will stitch together another part here. And so, as I was saying, our souls are going to naturally grow. They're going to naturally flourish and we're naturally going to progress through life. However, if you're able to access these records, it's believed that you're going to have an easier time growing at a more exponential rate. And that's not to say that that's the right way to go. It just might be for some people. I feel it's important to remember that when it comes to the Akashic records, although they are written in stone back in ancient times on scrolls and in the hieroglyphics, they are represented in Indian culture, Western culture, Hinduism, Christianity even will make mention of the Akashic records in some form. The Book of Remembrance or the Book of the Living is what it's known as when we get into that type of religion. It's important to make it known that the Akashic records are a faith-based phenomena. Although there is this history and this science behind the abilities to tap into this, one really must believe in their ability to tap in and the ability that the records hold all this knowledge and this energy. It's very energy based. Now, it's also, I think, important to make note in at least a first video of what these Akashic records are, is that these Akashic records, they hold past lives. They hold every emotion we've been feeling, so it allows us to overcome traumas. Now, it records our past, our present, and potential futures. It cannot predict the future. Although there have been some people throughout history and throughout time who have said that they have used the Akasha to predict things like September 11th, that does not mean that you can tap in and predict the future. In the past, only shamans, priests, or priestesses, and psychics, some philosophers as well, were believed to be the only ones who could access this knowledge. As we progress as a society and as we progress as a culture, it is becoming more common for anybody to tap into these records. And I feel that's a very important element to make note of. Anybody, despite ability, is able to tap into these records as long as you believe that they exist. And so some ways that people like to tap into the Akasha is through meditation, is through dreams. Some people believe that the dream state is the state in which we subconsciously tap into the Akasha on our own accord. Some people use divination, tarot, runes to tap into the Akasha. But a lot of these different methods are all based off the same faith, based off the same belief. And it's really important when it comes to the Akashic records that you're ready to obtain this knowledge, and that you're ready to believe in something greater than yourself. Believe that the soul progresses through different stages of reincarnation. That's going to need to be a major belief of yours. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to tap into these records. Now, when it comes to the Akasha, the Akashic records, it's also important to make note that it's not easy initially. You can't just lay down, meditate, and say, I'm going to tap into everything that has ever happened in human history. It's more of an individualized journey, a journey of self-worth and self-growth. It's a journey to learn how to love yourself through the faults and through the ups and downs that life has brought you in the past and in the distant past, as in reincarnation, as in past lives. We hold on to a lot of the traumas of the past, and this has been scientifically proven that our DNA is encoded with past traumas that have either been handed down to us from our family members or from potential past lives. Now, no, there is no definitive proof. However, that's why the Akashic records and the Akasha are faith-based, and that's why that is such an important thing to make note of. And as you go on this journey of self-discovery, tuning into the Akasha and the Akashic records are going to be that much easier.